Part 1. I remember the cake. It was strawberry, my favorite, but I didn't take a single bite, because by the time I blew out the candles, he was already gone. My name is Leah. I had just turned 29, and I thought I was about to get engaged. I got abandoned. That morning, I woke up to a dozen roses on my nightstand, a silver envelope next to it. I smiled, thought, this is it. He's going to propose. My hands shook as I opened the envelope, but there was no ring inside, just a card, and a single line written in his handwriting. I need time. Don't wait for me. That was it. No explanation. No goodbye kiss. No call. Sat there, in a silk robe he bought me, staring at the walls of the apartment we shared, and realizing I didn't even know where he went, or why. His name was Dylan. We met 3 years ago, at a conference in Miami. He was smart, confident, not the type to vanish without a word, or so I thought. The days after my birthday were a blur. I didn't cry right away. I waited for him to come back, to explain, to say it was a mistake. But a week passed, and 2, then a month, and still nothing. I called his mom. She sounded uncomfortable, said he was figuring things out, and hung up. His sister wouldn't return my texts, and our mutual friends suddenly had no idea what was going on. I started to feel insane, like I had made everything up, like I imagined the love, the promises, the late-night talks about building a future. But it wasn't a dream, because I had photos, messages, a lease with both our names on it, and memories I couldn't erase. 3 months later, I got the shock that made the first heartbreak feel like a paper cut. I was scrolling Instagram, mindlessly, when a post popped up from Dylan's college friend. It was a wedding photo. Dylan, wearing a gray suit, standing next to a woman I'd never seen, holding her hand, smiling like he never left anything behind. Married. I stared at the screen for 10 minutes, then opened the comments. Such a beautiful ceremony. Congrats to the happy couple. Finally tied the knot after all these years. After all these years. What does that mean? I zoomed into the photo. The bride had dark hair, green eyes. She was pretty, not model perfect, but she looked familiar, like I'd seen her before. I clicked her profile. Her name was Vanessa Carr, and the first thing I saw on her page was a post from 5 months ago. A picture of her holding Dylan's hand. Captioned, "He came back to me." Just like he promised. I couldn't breathe. He came back. Back to her. Who was she? When did he even know her? Was I ever more than just a placeholder? A rebound? I wanted to throw my phone across the room, but instead, I dug deeper. I went through Vanessa's older posts. Birthday photos from last year. Beach pictures. One from 2 years ago with Dylan in the background. She tagged him in a few, but they were gone now. Deleted. Only her half of the story remained. It hit me like a punch to the chest. Dylan was with her before me. Maybe even during me. Now, he was married to her. Like I never existed. I sat in the dark, watching that wedding photo, over and over, trying to figure out when I became invisible, when my love stopped mattering, when a man I trusted with my whole heart decided I was disposable. But here's where the story shifts, because I didn't do what most people might do. I didn't curl up in a ball forever. I didn't go online and blast him. And I sure as hell didn't forgive him. No, I did something else. Something that changed everything. I started remembering the little things. The late-night phone calls that ended when he got tired. The random business trips with no photos. The time he said Vanessa in his sleep and laughed when I called him out. I had ignored all of it. 'Cause I was in love. Plainly. Desperately. Completely. But now, I wasn't just hurt. I was curious. 'Cause something about this story felt unfinished. Why would someone walk away so easily? Why pretend for 3 years? Why leave a woman on her birthday and marry another just weeks later? There was something more going on. Something bigger than just betrayal. Something darker. So I started asking questions. Quietly, carefully. I didn't want Dylan to know I was looking. But I needed answers. Not just for closure, but for truth. And what I found changed everything I thought I knew about him, about us, and about her. Vanessa. Was I the other woman? Was she? Or was there someone else entirely pulling the strings? Because love doesn't just disappear. Not unless someone helps kill it. And I was about to find out who that someone was. What would you do if the man you loved walked out and came back with a wife you never knew existed? Would you let it go? Or would you go searching for the truth, no matter how much it hurt? Tell me in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Part 2 reveals how deep Dylan's lies really went. Part 2. I didn't want revenge. I wanted truth. Because something about Vanessa didn't sit right. Not just the sudden marriage, but how she posted him like he'd never left. Like I was just a speed bump in their perfect love story. So I started where anyone would. Social media. Her Facebook was public. I scrolled through photos, captions, comments, trying to piece it together. When exactly did Dylan come back into her life? Or had he never left? I found a post from almost a year ago. Vanessa at a New Year's party. She wasn't alone. In the background, partially cropped out, was Dylan, leaning in close. Too close for just friends. And the post said, starting the year with people who never left my side. That was 2 months before he left me. So, was he cheating? Or was I just the cover? A distraction while he played house behind my back? I didn't know yet, but I had to find out. I remembered something strange from our second year together. A woman had called late at night. Dylan had panicked, said it was a wrong number. I saw the name on his screen, VC. He said it was some guy from work. But now I was sure. It was Vanessa Carr. The memory made me sick. How many signs had I ignored? How many lies had I swallowed? He once disappeared for an entire weekend. Said he had a family emergency. But never gave details. Asked if I could come. He said no. He said, it's better if you don't. Was he with her? Was he testing who he wanted more? Or worse, was I always the backup? The filler while he waited for Vanessa to want him again? I needed answers, not guesses, so I messaged someone who might actually tell me the truth. His ex-roommate from college, Mark. He and Dylan were close once, but had a falling out after we moved in together. I didn't know why, but maybe now he'd talk. Kept it simple. Hey Mark, I know it's been a while. I just need to know something. When did Dylan and Vanessa start seeing each other again? Took him 2 days to respond. When he did, it wasn't what I expected. Leah. You were never the only one. I tried warning you. My chest tightened. Asked what he meant, and he sent one word. Check the date he moved in with you. Then check Vanessa's Insta. You'll see. So I did. Dylan moved in with me the first week of August. I thought it was our next step. But Vanessa's Instagram told a different story. That same week, she posted a picture from a trip to the Hamptons. The caption, sometimes you forgive the one who broke you, because you know he's the one who can fix you. And in the reflection of her sunglasses, was Dylan, plain as day. He didn't just lie to me. He lived a double life. He moved in with me, while vacationing with her. He wasn't torn. He was greedy. He wanted both worlds. And I let him. Because I believed in him. Believed in our story. While he was out creating another one behind my back. But here's the part that made my skin crawl. The timeline didn't add up. Even if he cheated. Even if he lied. Why get married so fast? Why the rush? Was Vanessa pregnant? Was he hiding something worse? I dug deeper. I searched public records, marriage licenses, and what I found nearly stopped my heart. Dylan and Vanessa had filed for a marriage license 3 weeks before he left me. He planned it. He knew I was going to wake up on my birthday alone, while he was already planning to say, "I do" to someone else. And the worst part, they didn't even get married in some far-off place. It was just 2 towns away, at a courthouse we once walked past. He joked that day, "Someday this might be where we do it." He said that to me, while already planning it with her. I couldn't cry anymore. I just felt hollow, like my heart had been replaced with a question mark. So, something told me this wasn't over. Because 2 weeks after I found all this out, I saw Dylan again. I was at the farmer's market, trying to forget the mess, trying to breathe like a normal person again. And there he was, in a black hoodie, standing near the apples, staring straight at me. He looked thinner, fuller. Not the same confident man who once kissed my forehead before bed. And when our eyes met, he didn't smile. He didn't wave. He just walked toward me, slowly, carefully. I should have walked away, but I didn't. I stood still, waiting, needing. And when he stopped in front of me, he didn't say hello. He whispered, "I need to talk to you, alone." My stomach flipped. I didn't know what I expected. An apology? A confession? Is it? He leaned closer and said words that made my blood run cold. "She's not who you think she is. And I don't think I'm safe anymore." What? Was this some kind of joke? Gaslighting? I laughed. Said, "You're married. Go talk to your wife." He looked around nervously, then whispered, "I think she's watching me. And she knows I saw you." What was happening? Was Dylan paranoid? Guilty? Or was Vanessa hiding something too? I didn't know what to believe. But in that moment, I saw fear in his eyes. Well, fear. And something else. Regret. Then he said something I'll never forget. "Leah, please, don't trust anything she tells you. She's dangerous." And before I could ask another word, turned and vanished into the crowd. Stood there, holding a bag of grapes, heart pounding, mind spinning. Was this manipulation? Or was it finally the truth? 'Cause now, it wasn't just about heartbreak or betrayal. Now there was something else at play. Fear. And I had to decide, do I go deeper? Or do I finally walk away? What would you do if the person who broke your heart came back? Not asking for love, but warning you of danger. Is it guilt? Or something more? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. And stick around. Part 3 will reveal who Vanessa really is, and why Dylan may be in way over his head. Part 3. I couldn't sleep that night. Dylan's voice echoed in my head. "She's not who you think she is. I'm not safe anymore. Don't trust anything she tells you." I kept replaying that moment. His eyes. They weren't lying. They were terrified. But part of me still wondered. Was this just guilt twisting his mind? A way to rewrite the story? Make me pity him? Or was he really warning me? By morning, I decided something. If Vanessa really was dangerous, I needed proof. No more guessing. No more letting my heart decide. This was about the truth now. So I started digging. I remembered Vanessa once worked in real estate. I searched her name and the company she used to post about. A luxury agency that handled high-end homes for private clients. But her name, nowhere on the site. No team photo. No employee list. Nothing. Weird. So I searched deeper. Found an archived employee page from 2 years ago. There she was. Vanessa Carr. Client liaison/discretion specialist. Discretion. What kind of job title was that? I kept reading. Her profile had a vague description. Vanessa specializes in private property transfers and high-net-worth client confidentiality. Something about it felt off. That same day, I messaged an old friend of mine, Kara. She worked in real estate compliance. I asked her to do a quick background check on Vanessa. Told her it was for personal reasons. Kara was hesitant, but agreed. The next evening I got a call. And her first words, "Leah, where did you say you met this woman?" Told her, "She's married to my ex." There was silence. Then Kara said, "You need to be careful." My throat tightened. "What did you find?" Kara paused, then said something I'll never forget. "Vanessa Carr isn't her real name." "What?" "Her legal name is Vanessa Hale. She changed it 2 years ago." I sat down, shaking. "Why?" "There's a sealed case file tied to her original name. I can't access the details. But it was flagged under Witness Protection Protocol once. Then cleared." Witness protection. What the hell was going on? Kara continued, "Leah, this isn't someone random. She's been involved in something big. And the name change was government approved. Which means she was either hiding or helping someone hide." That explained the disappearing job records, the secrecy, the sudden marriage. But it didn't explain why Dylan married her. He knew all of it, and was part of it. Or she dragged him into it without him knowing. I didn't want to believe Dylan was still innocent, but something about his panic felt real. And now I had government-level secrets mixed into the man who broke my heart. I had to talk to him again, but I had no way to reach him. No phone, no address, no clue where he went after that market encounter. So I did something desperate. I drove to the house he used to live in with me, then waited in my car 4 hours, hoping he'd show. He didn't, but someone else did. Vanessa. She pulled up in a black Mercedes, alone, wearing sunglasses. Even though it was cloudy, she got out, looked around slowly, then walked straight toward my car. I locked the doors instantly, heart racing. She stopped right at my window, tapped lightly. I rolled it down 2 inches, smiled. Too calm, then said softly, "You shouldn't be looking into things that don't concern you." I swallowed hard. "You married the man I loved. I think that concerns me." She tilted her head, then said something chilling. "If you keep chasing ghosts, you'll end up haunted." Then walked away. Sat there, frozen. Her words weren't just threats. They were warnings. Warnings she knew I wouldn't ignore. And maybe she wanted me to keep digging. Maybe this was a game to her. Control tactic. But now I knew one thing. This wasn't about love anymore. It was about survival. The next morning I found a package at my door. No return address. Inside, a USB drive. Nothing else. No note. Just cold silence. I plugged it into my laptop. There was only one file. Video. Click play. And what I saw made my blood freeze. Dylan, sitting at a table, looking directly at the camera. His face bruised, eyes tired, hands shaking. He spoke softly. "If you're watching this, it means I didn't make it out in time." He glanced around nervously, then continued. "Vanessa isn't who she says she is. She's not just dangerous. She's powerful, connected. She was part of something. A laundering ring, real estate scams through shell companies. Found out too much. And when I tried to leave, she said she'd ruin me. She married me to keep me quiet, to tie my name to hers. If I run, she makes sure I go down with her." My breath caught. He looked directly into the camera again. "Leah, I never stopped loving you. I left because I thought I could protect you by disappearing. But now I know. She's watching you too. Be careful who you talk to. Be careful what you ask. You were always the best thing in my life. I'm sorry I destroyed it. The video ended. My screen went black, and I just sat there, silent, breathing hard, tears pooling. Not for Dylan, not for what he did, but for what he tried to undo. He had gotten in too deep, and now he was drowning and pulling me under too. I had a choice: turn this in to the police or disappear, like he did. But one thing was clear: Vanessa wasn't done with me yet, and the truth was still buried somewhere between love, betrayal, and power. What would you do if the person who hurt you most turned out to be your only way out? Could you trust them again? Or would you risk everything to bring down the one who destroyed you both? Tell me in the comments, because part 4 is where I make my choice, and nothing after that will ever be the same. Part 4. I replayed Dylan's video 3 times. Each time, it cut deeper. I had begged for closure, but what I got was a confession, a warning, and a target on my back. I couldn't go to the police. Not without proof. Not with Vanessa knowing my every move. If she had connections, like Dylan said, reporting her blindly would only make things worse. No, if I wanted answers, real answers, I had to go straight to the source. I texted Kara, just one word: I need her address. Kara replied within minutes: send me a location. I stared at it for a full minute before grabbing my keys. I didn't even pack a bag, just drove, heart pounding the whole way. Vanessa lived in a gated estate outside the city. Tall hedges, security cameras, silence so thick it pressed against the windows. I parked across the street, watched her house. Then, just as I was about to leave, the gate opened, a delivery truck drove out, and I drove in, before it closed. I parked behind a hedge and walked the rest. My shoes barely touched the pavement. That's how scared I was. Terrified. Focused. I reached her porch and rang the bell. Answer. I rang again. Nothing. Then, the door creaked open. Not wide, just enough for me to slip inside. Vanessa called out. Silence. The air smelled like jasmine. And something else. Metallic. I stepped in slowly, every inch of me screaming to turn back. But I didn't. I moved deeper, past the foyer, into the living room. That's when I saw her, sitting on the couch, glass of wine in hand, like she'd been expecting me. She didn't look surprised or angry, just amused. Took you long enough, she said softly. I didn't answer, just stared, smiled, patted the seat beside her. Come on, Leah. Let's not pretend anymore. Sit. I didn't move. I saw the video, I said coldly. Her smile didn't fade. I figured you would. You threatened him. You used him. Why? She laughed quietly, a dry, hollow sound. You think Dylan was some innocent bystander? He was scared. He was greedy, she snapped. That silenced me. She stood now, walked to the window, stared out at the garden, then spoke again. When I met Dylan, he was already drowning in debt, gambling, secrets. All I did was offer him a way out. I frowned. He said he tried to leave. And I stopped him, she said, turning. Her eyes locked onto mine. Dark, empty. I stop everyone who tries to ruin what I've built. You're laundering money, I whispered. She laughed again. Among other things. I felt sick. My head spun. This wasn't just about heartbreak anymore. This was crime. Conspiracy. And Dylan. He wasn't clean. But he wasn't the devil either. He was a prisoner. What do you want from me? I asked. Vanessa stepped closer, held out a flash drive. This has everything Dylan collected on me. You want to play hero? Fine. Take it. I stared at it, then back at her. Why give it to me? Because you're predictable, Leah. Emotional. You'll go to the cops. They'll try to move. And I'll be gone before they knock. You think I won't make it public? Yes. You think they'll believe a scorned ex over a respected wife of a decorated consultant? She countered. Her smile returned. Colder now. I've survived worse than you. I took the drive anyway. And walked out. Every step felt heavier than the last. Back home, I stared at the drive on my table. Sat there. Silent. Heavy. Like it knew everything that would come next. Called Kara. Told her everything. She hesitated. Then said she had a contact in the DOA. That she'd pass the drive. But she warned me. If this goes public, your name will be dragged too. She'll retaliate. I already knew that. But I nodded anyway. The next 48 hours were chaos. Kara's contact took the drive. Promised to investigate quietly. But by day 3, everything changed. News broke out about a federal probe into corporate real estate fraud. No names. No arrest. Just whispers. But Vanessa, she was gone. Vanished. Her house empty. No forwarding address. No digital trace. Just in, like smoke. And Dylan. I found him. Weeks later. He was living under a different name. Out west. Hiding. Afraid. When I saw him, he broke down. I never wanted you in this, he said. I know, I replied. But I'm in it now. He asked if I'd ever forgive him. I didn't answer right away. How do you forgive someone who left you shattered? Then handed you the pieces of something bigger. But I knew one thing. He wasn't the villain anymore. Not to me. He was a mirror of every bad choice I once trusted. And a reminder that love without truth will always destroy something. I never saw Vanessa again. But sometimes, when the wind shifts, when my phone rings and no one answers, when a car follows too close for too long, she's still watching, waiting for me to slip. Because people like her, they don't disappear, they just hide better. And people like me, we learn to live with the scars, one silent heartbeat at a time. Part 5. 3 months later, I changed my number, moved to a new apartment, different street, different locks, but the same shadow still followed me home, still whispered her name at night. Vanessa. The investigation had gone silent. Kara told me the DOJ froze after internal interference, which was just code for Vanessa had deeper roots than anyone guessed. Dylan tried to check in. Once or twice. Answered once. He said he was trying to get a real job. Under his new name. Told me he was sober. Told me he missed me. But the truth is, I didn't miss him. Not after I realized the full weight of the silence he left behind. What haunted me more than anything was what she said that night. You're predictable, Leah. He was right. It was, till now. I started building a digital folder. Every news article, every rumor, every contract trail that hinted at her operations. I used aliases, burner accounts. Late nights turned into dawns. I found offshore properties, hidden shell companies, disappeared employees, and names. So many names. She wasn't just laundering money. She was trafficking power. And every one of those names tied back to her real estate empire, tied back to Dylan's job. He hadn't been a pawn. He'd been a doorman, opening gates for criminals and closing them behind women like me. But I wasn't afraid anymore. I was something else now. Angry, unapologetically aware, and ready. I sent the full file to 3 journalists. Independent, unafraid. And I knew the risks, the backlash, the danger. But I also knew what silence does to women like me. It rots us from the inside. And I was done rotting. The first article broke on a Monday. It didn't name Vanessa, but it named the shell company she used to buy her estate. Within hours, Her other companies started shutting down. Investors pulled out. News spread. Slow. Then viral. By Wednesday, I received an envelope in my mailbox. No return address. Inside was a single Polaroid. Me. My front door. Taken just 2 days ago. I froze. Hands trembling. I scanning the street. She was watching again. Or someone was. Called Kara. She didn't answer. I tried again. Still nothing. By Friday, a second article named names. And Vanessa's name was one of them. Her photo. Her philanthropy exposed. And still. No arrest. No trace. Just silence. That night. My power cut out. At exactly 2:14 a.m. I stood frozen in the dark. Phone in one hand. Kitchen knife in the other. But no one came. Just silence. Thicker than before. Almost personal. I packed a bag the next morning. Went to stay at Kara's place. Only to find it emptied. Furniture gone. Mail stacked. Like she'd vanished overnight. That's when I knew. I wasn't at war with a person anymore. I was at war with something bigger. Something that had no face. Just fingers. Reaching through doors. Screens. People. And pulling strings quietly. I thought about stopping. Letting it all fade. Moving again. Changing my name this time. Becoming another story left untold. But then I found something. In the folder I'd overlooked. A voice memo Dylan had recorded months ago. Buried in corrupted files. I fixed it. Played it. Started mid-sentence. His voice shaking. And if you're hearing this, Leah, I probably didn't make it out. But I promise you, I never meant to disappear on your birthday. I only left because I thought it would protect you. I didn't know she would find you anyway. I'm sorry. For loving you wrong. But not for loving you at all. And then static. Puzzle. I sat there for hours after that. Not crying. Not angry. Puzzle. Because I finally understood the truth. He hadn't just left me on my birthday. He tried to save me. In the only broken way he knew how. And in doing so, he gave me a reason to become someone else entirely. Not a victim. Not even a survivor. But a storm. And storms don't beg for justice. They rewrite skies. Weeks passed. A final article dropped. Then silence. Real silence this time. No more shadows. No more photos. No more names. The storm had passed. Or maybe it had just moved on. I still don't know if Vanessa is alive. Or if Dylan really escaped for good. But I know this. On my next birthday, I didn't wait for anyone. I took myself out. Alone. Smiling. Finally. Free. Because sometimes, the worst thing someone can do to you is also the best thing that ever happened. And walking away isn't weakness. It's power with a pulse. And mine finally beats for me.